Welcome to Pop Culture Icons. I'm your host, Maya Starr. Today on Pop Culture Icons, imagine the weight of a crown, the pressure of a world stage, and the vulnerability of a soul laid bare. Today, we uncover how one pop icon channeled childhood pain and societal rejection into a legacy of fearless self-expression, and learn how you can, too, by embracing the power of your own oddness. You've heard of icons, but have you ever wondered what it takes to become one? To transform from an outsider into a cultural force that reshapes entire industries. This is the story of Madonna, not just a pop star, but a revolution disguised as a performer. Picture a small Michigan town in the 1960s. A young girl sits in a silent house, the echoes of her mother's recent death hanging in the air like a heavy curtain. This isn't just a moment of loss. It's the crucible where Madonna's fierce independence would be forged. You might think tragedy breaks a person, but for her, it became the fuel for an unrelenting drive to be seen, to be heard. Her rebellion wasn't loud at first. It was a quiet, burning determination. While other girls dreamed of traditional paths, Madonna was listening to a different rhythm. Dance became her first language of resistance. Those early dance classes weren't just about movement, they were her first battlefield, where she learned to transform pain into power. Imagine walking away from everything you know with nothing but a dream and $35 in your pocket. That was Madonna's leap of faith. New York in the late 1970s wasn't a welcoming place, especially for a young woman from Michigan with big dreams. The streets were dangerous, unforgiving. She was mugged. She struggled. She danced in tiny clubs for almost nothing. But here's the thing about Madonna. She didn't just survive. She was studying the world, learning its rules so she could systematically break them. The underground club scene became her training ground. While others saw just music and dancing, Madonna saw a canvas. Each performance was an experiment, each outfit a statement. Her early performances were raw, provocative, not for shock value, but as a deliberate strategy to push boundaries. Every raised eyebrow, every critical comment was fuel. She was teaching herself that controversy could be a weapon, that being misunderstood was often the first step to being revolutionary. Like a Virgin wasn't just a song, it was a cultural hand grenade. When she performed at the 1984 MTV Video Music Awards, writhing on stage in a wedding dress, she wasn't just singing. She was declaring war on conventional notions of female sexuality and performance. The backlash was immediate and intense. Critics called her vulgar. Conservative groups condemned her. But Madonna understood something profound. In a world that wants to silence you, your loudest act of rebellion is to refuse to be silenced. The Blonde Ambition tour was more than a concert series. It was a manifesto. That iconic jean Paul Gaultier cone bra wasn't just fashion, it was armor. Each performance was carefully choreographed to challenge perceptions about gender, sexuality, and power. Imagine standing on a global stage, knowing that every move you make will be scrutinized, criticized, dissected. Most would crumble under that pressure. Madonna, she turned it into her greatest strength. Her performances weren't just entertainment. They were political statements wrapped in pop music. She was teaching a generation that your body, your art, your voice could be powerful tools of expression and resistance. The story continues. But revolutions always come with a cost. The AIDS crisis hit Madonna's community like a devastating tsunami. She watched friends die, witnessed an entire generation being decimated by a disease society seemed content to ignore. This wasn't just personal loss, it was a political awakening. While other artists remained silent, Madonna used her platform to speak. Her documentary Truth or Dare wasn't just entertainment. It was a lifeline for the LGBTQ+ community, bringing visibility and humanity to a population being systematically marginalized. She wasn't just a performer anymore, she was becoming a cultural catalyst. If you're enjoying pop culture icons, please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code for our free 7-day email course, The Fame Formula. Discover how unknowns like Elon, Taylor Swift, and Beyoncé became cultural phenomena. Now, back to the episode. In 1992, she released her controversial book, Sex, a provocative exploration of sexuality that pushed every conceivable boundary. Critics called it pornographic. Feminists were divided. But Madonna understood something deeper. True liberation means refusing to be defined by other people's comfort. Imagine having the courage to expose your most intimate self, knowing you'll be brutally judged. Most would retreat. She doubled down. Each criticism became another layer of her armor, another proof of her refusal to be controlled. Here's a truth most people miss. Madonna's strength wasn't about being invulnerable. It was about being vulnerable on her own terms. Those moments backstage, trembling before performances, weren't weakness. They were evidence of the immense emotional labor required to constantly challenge societal norms. You might think icons are born fearless. They're not. They're born afraid and choose to move forward anyway. Each album, each era was a deliberate reinvention. From punk-inspired looks to spiritual explorations in Ray of Light, she was constantly evolving. This wasn't just artistic choice, it was survival strategy. In an industry that loves to put women in boxes, she refused to be contained. By the time you read this, Madonna has transformed not just music, but entire conversations about female agency, sexuality, and artistic expression. She didn't just break rules, she demonstrated that rules are often just suggestions waiting to be reimagined. So here's your challenge. What parts of yourself are you keeping hidden, afraid of judgment? Madonna's life isn't just a story about a pop star. It's a blueprint for radical self-acceptance. Your oddness isn't a weakness, it's your superpower. Every time society tries to silence you, remember her. Speak louder, dance harder, create boldly. Your voice matters, your story matters. And like Madonna, you have the power to reshape the world, one unapologetic moment at a time. The revolution continues, and it starts with you. On the next episode of Pop Culture Icons, imagine a world where resilience isn't just about standing tall against adversity, but also about finding the courage to face our deepest insecurities. Next week, we delve into the journey of one of cinema's most revered figures, who, despite her countless accolades and transformations on screen, has consistently battled self-doubt behind the scenes. Join us as we uncover Meryl Streep's vulnerable odyssey from small-town New Jersey to Hollywood stardom in our upcoming episode, The Many Faces of Meryl. Trust me, you won't want to miss this intimate exploration of how one woman's emotional honesty has reshaped drama forever. Please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code or follow the pinned link to get our free 7-day email course, The Fame Formula. 7 days, 7 brilliant tactics. Learn the mindset to go from invisible to influential using the dark arts of fame engineering. Click the video that just popped up to watch the next one in this series. Or for episode summaries, behind-the-scenes info, and more, go to daily8.com/PCI. Thanks for watching.